Hey there. So here you are. You've started your website, but you like what you've got so far, but it's a little boring. You say to yourself, hey, I really like a picture. If you remember, the first thing we did was we found the Documents folder on our Mac. Then, if you remember, the next thing we did was we made a folder inside of that, which we called My Website. And then we created our first page, which we put inside that folder called index.html. Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a folder inside the My Website folder called Images. And what we're going to do is we're going to store our images inside of that folder. This is a standard practice in website design. So let's go find our images. First, we're going to go to Google and we are going to look for images. But before we start doing an image search, I want you to click Tools, Usage Rights, and choose Labeled for Non-Commercial Reuse. That allows us to load images that are legal to use. Once you find your image, right-click or control-click, choose Save Image As, and download those images to your Images folder. So that's the images folder we just made. We're going to put those images into that particular folder. Of course, then the question is, how do I get this into my web page? Well, we're going to show you how to do that next. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our web page that we've designed called index.html. We're going to add some code. We're going to add a tag called IMG. IMG is an image tag. It tells the browser, okay, the thing you're looking for now is a picture. We're going to leave a space and then we're going to add src equals. And this is going to tell the browser, okay, this is where you look for this image. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to write the image source in quotes. So we're going to put a quote and then the word images, which is the name of our folder, slash, and then the name of the image, dot, usually JPG, and then we're going to close the quote. That's going to tell it both the location and the name of the image. Finally, the thing we're going to put in place is something called the alt tag. ALT equals quote, then whatever text you type in, and then close the quote. And the purpose of the alt tag is it tells the visually impaired user what that image is. It's a standard in web design. It's going to be expected in all of your code. So make sure that you give it a name. It's also the text that comes up when you hover your mouse. So if you wanted to say my favorite image, you put in my favorite image, and when they hover their mouse over the image, this is what will come up in that little pop-up window in most browsers. All that's left to do is close your tag. So you're going to put in a slash, and then you're going to put in a bracket. If you've done it correctly, you save the page, you refresh your browser, and now that image should appear inside your page. So now you might ask yourself, okay, I upload it, I refresh it, but the image comes in really huge, and it's just disproportionate. What do I do then? Well, we're going to tell you. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our code and we're going to change the text. We're going to go back to our image tag and we're going to add a style parameter. Styles allow us to change the way things look on the page. And we're going to add the following words. We're going to add the word style. We're going to add an equal sign, and then we're going to open a quote. I'm going to put in the word width and a colon, and because my image is square, I'm going to say 300px semicolon height colon 300px semicolon, and then we're going to close the quote. We're going to put all that right in before the end of the tag, and that's going to tell our browser, take that picture and display it with a width of 300 pixels and a height of 300 pixels. That's going to be a square, but I want it to look that way. In web design, pixels are a unit of measurement. For now, that's all you need to know. You may have to change the height and width of your image depending on whether your image is square or rectangular, or whether or not it's what we call portrait mode, or what you might refer to as vertical. But you can play with those numbers until the image looks the size that you want it to look on your page. So all that's left now is to save the file and reload the page. And if you refresh the page, the browser should reload your image the way you set it up on your code. If it doesn't look the way you want, go back and change your code. If it's not showing up at all, check to make sure that your code is written correctly and that you haven't deleted any of your tags. If it's showing, but it's not showing the way you intend, then take a minute and look at your height and width settings and see if you need to adjust those. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed it.